Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick. Well, in 2018, Indiana welcomed an estimated 80 million visitors, generating some $9 billion in total economic impact. The Indiana Destination Development Corporation was created by the Indiana General Assembly to increase those numbers and also to attract and retain business talent, students statewide. The IDDC has just launched, and with more on goals and how to achieve them, pleased to be joined this week by Secretary and CEO Elaine Bedel. And Elaine, as always, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Gary. Happy to be here.
Okay, let's get right to it. The formation of the Indiana Destination Development Corporation by the legislature, essentially to replace the old Indiana Office of Tourism Development. So a tourism, hospitality focus, but really your mission has expanded into some important areas like talent as well. Give us a thumbnail description of this new agency.
Right, absolutely. It's the new mission is to promote, brand, and tell Indiana's authentic story to help attract and retain business, talent, students, as well as visitors to the great state of Indiana.
And as you look at the formation, I think this is an interesting piece of the story. The Indiana Economic Development Corporation was formed, I think, in 2005 or so as a public-private partnership or entity, and it's similar in the makeup of this organization as well.
It is. We're both quasi-government agencies, which really helps us be able to work with the private sector much more easily than if you're a pure government agency. Yeah. So we're looking forward to that partnership. Okay,
I want to talk about the talent equation as well as tourism. But in the midst of everything, and you're getting up to speed and launching, there was this thing called the pandemic that came along, unfortunately. So that has you really focused because tourism, hospitality has been hit so hard by that. So that's a real focus of what you're doing as you begin.
Absolutely. And we really had to kind of step back, you know, still planning on getting the IDDC launched, but looking at what the industry needed. And so what we did is we actually created an Indiana Destination Recovery Council, which was 12 members from around the state who were kind of leaders in their area of the industry, and really brought them together to say, what is it that the industry needs? What can the state do to kind of help in those ways? And in addition, we did some research, which we put together an index that says, here's what the leisure and travel-related industry had been doing. Where are we now, and how much activity did we lose, and where are we coming back? And that was really a great index for us to do. It had 4 different components. You know, epidemiology, in other words, we were using the weekly death rate due to COVID. It had labor, stress, and business sentiment, which we looked at unemployment numbers, as well as business sentiment, how much they were losing in their revenues, et cetera. We looked at consumer sentiment, and the last one was travel disruption. So there we were looking at the hotel occupancy rates, as well as the throughput at the TSAs at our 4 airports here in Indiana. So those together gave us an index of 100 on the average, which was in 2017. By February 23rd of 2019, we started measuring, we were at 101.1, so we were better than the average. By May 10th, we were down at 55, which meant we had really lost about 45% of the activity in the leisure and travel-related industry. However, each week we've gone up, and the last week that we measured it was at the end of June, or basically June 24th, and we were back at 66. So we're making little progress. We're still down about 33% from where the activity should be, but it's positive trend in the right direction.
Yes, and very quickly, just to put it in perspective, the job loss in that sector here in Indiana has really been devastating.
Right. You know, of the 343,000 jobs lost in Indiana, 37% were from the leisure and travel-related industry.
Yeah. So obviously, COVID a big focus right now. But as you talk about tourism, and you know, we've got a national park now in Northwest Indiana, and so many attractions around the state. Very kind of 50,000-foot view. How are you going to try to get people to really visit those destinations?
Well, we just have to tell our story. I mean, there's so many people who really, when they're outside of Indiana, never been here, they really don't know what quality of life assets, because that's what the leisure and travel-related industry really is. That's our quality of life. It's what people want to do when they're not working. And so we need to tell that story better. And one of the things that we're going to do right away, and should come out later this month, is the Hoosiers by Choice video series. We're asking people who have moved here from somewhere else, maybe reluctantly for a job, to kind of tell us their story, because now they're raving fans. They say they never want to leave, and here's why. And so we're going to give everyone else an opportunity to hear those stories, and I think it's going to be kind of exciting, and I think it's a great way to kind of to get those good thoughts out out to be even beyond Indiana.
Yeah, and Elaine, telling the Hoosier story, the Indiana story is a big piece of your efforts to attract and keep talent in Indiana as well.
Absolutely. Keep talent and attract talent.
All right. A lot on your plate now and for the foreseeable future as well. Elaine Bedel, the new CEO and Secretary at the Indiana Destination Development Corporation. Elaine, as always, thanks for being here. We'll talk to you soon.
You're welcome. Thank you.